Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And I've got good news. I'm on Linux on my new computer today. Yeah, I took my own advice from yesterday. Instead of trying to partition off the RAID ensconced SSD, I decided to put in the SSD from my laptop in, which worked perfectly. I reinstalled Linuxmint and put on my favorite desktop environment, which is, yeah, ain't it cool? All right, so let's get that out of the way. Okay, few things. Really glad that this business has worked out. I am going to use the Windows 1 terabyte drive for some of my archiving for the future. I think what I'll do is I'll just make a separate partition from the Windows side, and I'll just use that. That part's going to work out fine. I don't have it out right now, but my archive drive from the laptop, I have a bay in it's a cage that holds two 2.5 inch hard drives. It came with one disk caddy, not two. But it does have a SATA cord in there for another one. And so what I'm going to do is I've already done it, actually. I actually went to Dell and I chatted online with this really nice person, and this really nice person was getting ready to sell me one for a pretty good price, all things considered. And then we found out it was going to be about a 2-month delivery, and by that time I'm hoping to be moved to a different area of the country, and I'd lose that shipment. So, and since I don't have an actual address to send it to, and I want this thing now. The train's coming. I went on my my favorite shopping channel, which is eBay, and I found one, and it came with an extra SATA cable. So why not, huh? And it was just a little bit more than what Dell was going to sell to me in the first place. So this is a win-win-win-win-win-win-win situation. Also, I don't even have to worry right now about booting into Linux directly. I've got the BIOS set so that it will take my my Linuxmint hard drive first. If I want to go into Windows, then I'll just tap F12 and select the Windows boot manager from there. Yeah, that F12 key is going to get a lot of dust on it. Also, it appears that I've got a lot of things fixed as far as going into doing the videoing. I found out on YouTube where I was making up some mistakes, and hopefully this will be a lot cleaner. So I think I got some of that out of the way. Not going to be drunk for a little while. When I first started doing this series, I'd come down with a pretty bad summer cold. And because of some of the things that I was taking to help relieve that, my stomach was getting sour, and I went off track on my diet, started eating comfort foods, and I got really comfortable. So I have to become uncomfortable for a while again. At one point I had lost 30 pounds. I think I've gained back probably 20. So it's time to knuckle down and start exercising and doing everything. Everything's back to normal, thank goodness. I have some interesting news to pass along to everybody. First of all, I want to say, and I'm sorry I missed it. It was 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Linux. So it's one of two birthdays, actually. So when the 5th comes around, I think there's two birthdays. September 17th. Then I'll celebrate again, and maybe even then I'll have an adult beverage by that time. So we'll see. But it's been 30 years since Linus Torvalds announced that he was going to create a little project and didn't think anything was really going to come out of it. And, well, good for us. He was wrong. So happy birthday, Linux. And the next thing I want to come across is Endeavor OS. Endeavor OS is a unique way of installing Arch on your computer. Arch is very lean, it's very fast, and I know these people really well from the Antergos days before the original Antergos developers, for their own reasons, just stopped doing the project. So the community got together and picked it up, called it Endeavor OS, and they've come out with a new installer, which is, I'm really glad to hear that, because the other one was just a little bit difficult to go through. If you'd never gone through a Linux installation before, it was not the friendliest. Then again, Arch isn't really for the beginners, but Endeavor really has done a great job of putting things together, and they've got all different kinds of desktops, but not Unity. They can't. I think that's simply because it's an Ubuntu thing, and it's I think maybe you probably have to have all the deb files and everything like that. My God, what a mess that would be, trying to get all that translated over to Arch. Maybe not impossible, but it would probably be a real pain in the ass. So, congratulations, Endeavor OS, for your new distribution, or your new release. The next thing I want to get to is there is a new release of the Ubuntu. If you're on Ubuntu, there's a new release. It basically, if you want to, okay, let me get back to where I was going with this. They have a new release. It's basically upgrading the kernel, if it hasn't been already done on your computer, and a bunch of other changes. But the thing about this is that if you have not installed Ubuntu and you want to, this has all of the updates that have occurred since the 2004.2, I think, came out. And I don't even remember how long ago that was. Not that long ago, really, because they go pretty quick. But this is something to consider if you want to go the Ubuntu line. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was, remember the other day I was talking about different file systems between Mac and Linux. Windows too. Say you have a Windows partition and you have a Linux partition. Okay, the Linux partition can read the Windows side just fine, but Windows, by its nature, does not read the Linux partition. Doesn't even know it's there. I found this article today. It was updated yesterday, and it's about how to mount a Windows share folder in Linux. That way, you have something that you can share back and forth between Linux. So if you want to drop something that you've been working on in Linux so that Windows can read it, that's where you do it. You don't really need to access that through the Linux side. You probably just go to the folder where it was located and take it and get it from there. But it is a single point location where you can, store folders or files or programs, I suppose, from one for the other. So this is really nice. It explains to you very, very simply how to create that share option. And if you're interested, go for it. I mean, there are people that use the Linux and Ubuntu, or not necessarily Ubuntu, but Linux, 50-50 or even 60-40 or whatever you want to consider there. So if that is something you're interested in, take a look here. I think it's pretty interesting and also quite timely considering I just spoke about this the other day. All right. No other news. Nice, short, and sweet again, huh? I get this big ass computer that can do video rendering like in no time, and what do? I come up with a short video. Go figure. But the quality's better. You're gonna see that noticeably this time around. And don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to eBay or Amazon or any other place and buy crap you don't need or want just because you're a little bit buzzed up. Okay? This is Len, the drunk Linux user, saying bottoms up. Later, dudes. I can feel the pounds melting off right now.